Imagine a ship grander than the Titanic, bigger, safer, a floating masterpiece built to erase the scars of tragedy and conquer the seas. This was the Britannic, the Titanic's forgotten sister, destined for glory until a single, earth-shattering explosion sent her to a watery grave in just 55 minutes. Was it a mine, a torpedo, or something darker lurking in the depths? Welcome to Your Channel Name, where we dive into history's wildest stories, and today we're unraveling the Britannic's epic, heartbreaking saga, a tale of luxury, heroism, and unimaginable horror that'll leave you speechless. Hit that subscribe button, grab a drink, and let's plunge into this 25-minute roller coaster. You won't look away. To understand Britannic, we need to rewind to April 1912, when the Titanic, hyped as unsinkable, struck an iceberg and sank, claiming over 1,500 lives in a disaster that shook the world. Headlines screamed of hubris, greed, and failure, leaving White Star Line, her owners humiliated, and the public demanding answers. Why no lifeboats? Why so fragile? Harland and Wolff, the Belfast shipyard behind her, was already building Britannic, the third Olympic-class liner, and after Titanic's catastrophe, they doubled down, determined to craft a redemption story. Britannic wasn't just a ship, she was a bold middle finger to fate, a promise that humanity could outsmart the sea. Let's talk specs, because this beast was next level. 882 feet long, matching Titanic, but beefier at 48,000 gross tons. She boasted a double hull-like armor against icebergs, watertight bulkheads raised to trap floodwater, and enough lifeboats for every soul aboard, with giant davits to launch them fast. No repeat of Titanic's lifeboat fiasco. Inside, she was a floating Ritz-Carlton, dripping with marble staircases, crystal chandeliers, and even a pipe organ for first-class passengers to flex their elegance. Britannic was set to be the safest, most luxurious liner ever, a dazzling comeback for White Star Line. But history loves a plot twist, and World War I was the ultimate vibe killer. By 1915, Europe was a bloodbath, trenches, gas, millions dead, and Britannic's champagne-soaked dreams were shelved when the British Admiralty requisitioned her, transforming this palace into His Majesty's hospital ship Britannic. Out went the velvet lounges, in came surgical theaters and wards for thousands of wounded soldiers. Her hull, once gleaming, was painted white, slapped with massive red crosses to scream mercy to the world. From 1915 to 1916, she crisscrossed the Mediterranean, ferrying the broken from battlefields like Gallipoli, crewed by doctors, nurses, and volunteers who turned her into a beacon of hope. Surely a hospital ship cloaked in compassion was untouchable, right? Oh, how wrong they were. Fast forward to November 21st, 1916, Britannic glides through the turquoise Key Channel off Greece, the sun sparkling like a false promise. Aboard are 1,065 souls, nurses, doctors, crew, wounded soldiers, all believing they're safe. Then at 8:12 a.m., kaboom! A massive explosion rips her starboard side, shaking her like a wounded giant. Most say it was a German mine, but whispers of a torpedo, a war crime against a hospital ship, have haunted history for decades. Water floods multiple compartments and open portholes, meant to ventilate wards, become fatal funnels, guzzling the sea like a greedy beast. Captain Charles Bartlett, a grizzled sea dog with nerves of steel, makes a desperate call, full speed to beach her on Key Island just miles away. It's a high-stakes gamble to save his floating hospital, but chaos erupts and that gamble unleashes a nightmare straight out of hell. Lifeboats, launched in a panic before orders are clear, drift toward the ship's colossal propellers, now rising from the water as she lists. Those blades spin like buzzsaws, sucking boats into a vortex of splintered wood and blood. Passengers, men, women, nurses, soldiers, are shredded in seconds, the sea turning crimson with foam. Survivors recall the bone-chilling hum of the props, the screams piercing the air, the sight of bodies torn apart. It's a massacre within a disaster. Among them is Violet Jessop, the unluckiest or luckiest woman afloat. She'd survived Titanic's icy grip and Olympic's near crash, and now, aboard a lifeboat spiraling toward those deadly blades, she leaps into the sea, fracturing her skull but swimming to safety with grit that defies belief. Then there's George Perman, a 15-year-old Boy Scout whose innocence is shattered as he swims through debris and bodies, dodging carnage to reach shore, forever haunted by the horrors he saw. Local fishermen, unsung heroes, race to the rescue, pulling survivors from the warm waters, a mercy Titanic's victims never had. As Britannic's bow plunges, her funnels snap like twigs, crashing into the waves, and by 9:07 a.m., just 55 minutes after the blast, she's gone, swallowed by the Aegean, her red crosses no match for war's wrath. Miraculously, only 30 of 1,065 perish, mostly in that propeller tragedy, a stark contrast to Titanic's 1,500-plus losses. But don't let the numbers fool you. The trauma was Titanic-sized. The warm waters and swift rescues were a rare gift, but for those who lived, the screams, the blood, the churning blades lingered like ghosts. Questions burned in the aftermath. What really sank her? A mine seems likely, but torpedo theories, fueled by wartime secrecy, refused to die. Was Britannic targeted? Her mercy mission mocked by the brutality of war? Let's pause. Drop a comment. What do you think sank her? Mine, torpedo, or something else? The mystery deepened over decades until 1975, when legendary explorer Jacques Cousteau found her wreck 400 feet down, remarkably preserved like a time capsule of ambition and loss. Divers call it haunting, a ghostly giant frozen in time, her hull a cathedral of dreams crushed by conflict. Unlike Titanic's scattered bones, Britannic lies largely intact, her decks whispering stories of nurses who bandaged wounds, soldiers who clung to hope, and a crew who fought to the end. Let's dig deeper into her wartime role. She wasn't just a ship, she was a lifeline, making 6 voyages before her sinking, saving thousands of lives. Nurses like Violet worked grueling shifts, stitching up shrapnel wounds, comforting the dying, all while the threat of U-boats loomed. Imagine the courage it took to sail into war zones, Red Cross is your only shield. Britannic's transformation from luxury to duty is a masterclass in resilience, but it also makes her loss sting harder. She wasn't chasing glory, she was saving souls. Now let's talk survivors beyond Violet and George. Take Archie Jewell, another Titanic veteran aboard Britannic, who escaped the propellers and later said the sea felt cursed. Or Nurse Sheila Macbeth, who clung to wreckage, praying as the ship vanished. Their stories, pieced from letters and interviews, paint a picture of chaos and courage, ordinary people thrust into a horror show, yet finding strength to survive. The wreck itself is a treasure trove. Cousteau's dives revealed lifeboats still dangling, portholes agape, even a surgeon's scalpel glinting in the silt. Later expeditions like those in 1850 the 2000s used robots to map her interiors, showing wards where soldiers once lay. Divers say swimming her corridors feels like trespassing on sacred ground, the silence louder than any storm. Britannic's legacy isn't just tragedy, it's a saga of what humans can build, endure, and lose. Built to redeem Titanic, she became a wartime hero, only to meet a fate as dramatic as her sister's. From Violet's death-defying leap to the fisherman's bravery, her story lives in those who survived and the wreck that guards their secrets. Today she rests silently, a 400-foot monument to ambition, compassion, and the sea's unforgiving power. Her red crosses, once a plea for peace, now a reminder that even the noblest missions can't escape war's shadow. Let's reflect. Britannic wasn't just a ship, she was a dream, a duty, a disaster, and a mystery that still sparks debate. If you're as obsessed with this as I am, smash that like button and subscribe for more epic history. Ring the bell so you don't miss a thing. Drop a comment. What's crazier, Violet's survival streak or the propeller horror? And check out my Titanic video next for more maritime madness. Thanks for diving in with me, you legends. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.